For sure, especially student teacher. The best student teacher relationships are student teacher relationships in which there is a lexicon of language and terms that are really clear between you and the teacher. And it would be great also if you had, for instance, lots of teachers will say, uh, darken that tone or something like that. If that causes you to jam your tongue, you need to have a different term. So if you could say to your teacher, I find that when you say darken that tone, I jam my tongue down the back of my throat. How can we work together to have a different way of unpacking that, where you get what you're auditorially looking for and I get the physical cue that my body is looking for to get the same thing. We're both after the same, moment here, but the language is getting in the way for me. Now, I know that takes a little, maturity, and it takes an open relationship with your teacher in order to be able to do that. But it's always okay to say, could you say that a different way? I'm not sure that word is making me do the right thing. Is there something I could imitate, or is there just another way of thinking about it? Can we just review what all of that means? Because I feel like my body is doing a thing that is wrong when you're trying to get something that's right, and I want to be right. Once again, I'm going to go back to my former advice. Always record your lessons. This is your time to grow. And every lesson should be 5 lessons, right? Because if you've recorded that lesson and you have a lesson once a week and you review that lesson for the 5 days that you practice, you will come to the next lesson ready to take the next step forward. No teacher likes to teach the same lesson over and over and over and over again. Students that show growth are the students that take the learning tools that they have, whether it's videotaping, whether it's recording, whether it's practicing in front of a mirror. You are an inside-outside instrument. And so you have to have some idea and some tangible way of tracking your progress, because progress in vocal technique is very slight and very, very subtle as it goes along. Some days you'll have huge, breakthroughs, but most of the time it's little subtle changes. And I learned that when I took up ballet as an adult, frankly. I recorded a lot of my ballet classes because I couldn't feel what the difference was between my foot being in the right place or my foot being in the wrong place. But when I saw it, my brain picked it up, my brain sent the signal to my foot, and it got fixed, because our kinetic energy and our kinetic chains, need different cues from our brain in order to learn. And when your instrument is inside your body, you need lots of different ways of contacting that in order to just wake it up and make it responsive to your brain. So always record your lessons, always record your master classes. If there's a videotape available, I know it's painful, but please review it, because you will learn things about yourself and you'll be able to become your own teacher. Because one day the goal is, right, to be out in the world and doing this, and your teacher can't go with you. And so the more you become someone who can teach yourself by observing yourself, and the more you can become independent in your development of your technique, the better you will be in the long run. Because one day you're going to wake up jet lagged and swollen, and you won't know how to put yourself back together, and no teacher will be there. These are the times where you are saving, you're in safety, germinating this technique, and you must have as many ways to access that learning as possible. Did I cover everything?
I think so. I would say that you should write a book, but you already have, and I want to segue.
Nice.